Welcome in, whiskey freaks. It's time to review some whiskey. Now, I've been talking about our good friends at Pursuit Spirits out of Louisville recently, and if you're not familiar with these cats, you probably should be. They're the folks behind the Bourbon Pursuit podcast, and they've been turning out some, what most folks are saying is really damn good whiskey. And the experts, they seem to agree as well, because they just awarded Pursuit Spirits Rye Whiskey of the Year for their Pursuit United Triple Batch Rye Barrel Proof offering. Boy, that's a mouthful. So naturally, I wanted some Pursuit Spirits in my life here on this podcast. The problem was, I couldn't find that damn award-winning barrel proof offering. Apparently, everybody else has got the same idea as me. So what I did was, I tracked down another one of their rye whiskeys, Pursuit United Double Oak Rye. Yeah, I know. It may not be the one that just won Rye Whiskey of the Year, but y'all know one of my goals here is to review stuff you can actually find and afford. And when I saw this bottle, this sealed the deal for me. On the bottle, it said, a whiskey wise beyond its years. So their marketing scheme worked on me, and my curiosity got the best of me, and I brought this bottle home. So let's crack this bad boy open and find out together what they've got going on at Pursuit Spirits. Now, like I said, this is a Double Oak Rye, and I picked it up at the bottle shop near my house. I paid for it with my own monies, $59.99. And I checked the Pursuit website just a few minutes ago, and they're selling this exact same stuff for $69.99. So it comes in at, here we go, let me grab it. It comes in at 108 proof, and it is a blended rye. Because Pursuit Spirits, they partner with Bardstown Bourbon Company and Sagamore Spirit to put this thing together. And here, for me, is the fun part. These guys went through more than 40 different oak experiments trying to find the right match for their Pursuit United Rye. And what they did was they played around with different types of oak, toast levels, char levels, all that kind of good stuff before they settled on this combination they thought worked best for this particular double oak release. And so I got to mention the bottle. I'm holding it here in my hot little hands. This bottle is what I would call simple but stately. It's got a great font on here. It's got raised lettering with the word Pursuit, nice and big here. It's got this short neck with a big, heavy stopper. And what this bottle reminds me of, think a bottle of Baker's 7. Now, on the label, it says 3 mash bills, and that's because this is a blend of 3 different rye mash bills. A 95 rye from Bardstown, a 95 rye from Sagamore, and then a really interesting Sagamore recipe that's 52 rye and 43 corn. So you got 2 big rye recipes in here, plus one that's giving you a little bit more sweetness in the blend. Now, there's no age statement on here, but we do know it's at least 4 years old per TTB, and one last thing on the bottle here. I already mentioned this. I want to mention it again. It's what caused me to grab this particular bottle. It says, it's a whiskey wise beyond its years. And they say the French oak finish gives it an oak profile that rivals whiskeys 3 times its age. Now, I feel like that's a hell of a claim. So what I want to know is, does this bad boy actually have the swagger to back up the brag? Let's find out. Easy to open here. It's got this little ribbon, sticky ribbon thing. Easy peasy. It's a great solid little cork. Like I said, think Baker's 7. Let me get a nice healthy pour here, because no matter what happens, I'm going to enjoy this. Let me do a little bit of nosing here. Yeah, it's got a rich caramel right off the bat. That's gentle rye spice, but it's not as heavy a rye spice as I thought it would be with the and I don't know how they blended this, right? I don't know if they tell a lot about it, but they didn't tell exactly what their blend is. They told the mash bill. So I kind of thought with the high rye at 95 and 95, it'd have a little more rye spice on the nose here, but what do I know? Oh, the color. And I always say this, never judge a whiskey by the color in the bottle. This one, you could actually kind of get a fairly idea. It's kind of going against what I normally say. But like I said, pour it in your glass, have a lot of bright light to look at. This one here is a dark reddish brown. Think rich dark mahogany wood, like an old mahogany bar you'd find in an old West saloon, like out in Tombstone, Arizona. All right, let me get back to the nose. Yeah, there's this nice fruitiness in here too, like maybe a hint of apple in here. It's super fresh. And I'm telling you, the lack of ethanol here is very pleasing to my nose. Let me get a sip here. Well, just like I said about the rye spice on the nose, it's sweeter than I expected. So I wonder if they went heavier on that third mash bill that I told you about from Sagamore. It's beautiful though. It's got this beautiful caramel note, soft oak, and it's not that harsh rough oak like you can sometimes get that. It's almost like that French oak influence is really softened that up real well here. I love that. And there's some fruit in here too. Yeah, got apple on the nose, but I'm getting pear on the mouth. It's a solid pear note here for me. Definitely. Let me get another sip here. Okay. So far, it's very pleasing. The only thing I'm worried about, and this is for me, not everybody thinks like me. It's got this faint piney note, like pine needles, not like dry pine needles that would lay under a pine tree, or like soft, supple green pine needles that are still on the tree. It's faint, but it is there, at least for me. Let me get one more sip here. Okay, this is easy to drink. What I mean is there is no heat in my chest here, just the slightest bit on the throat. I'm telling you, this stuff is dangerous. What I mean by that, I say this all the time, it's dangerous in that it says it's 108 proof on the bottle, right? But I'll be damned if it tastes like 108 proof. To me, it could be 95 or 98 at the most. It's what I call ridiculously easy to sip. And then there's really nice oiliness here. I've had 3 or 4 sips now. I'm going to have a little bit more. But up until this point, it's this beautiful mouthfeel. I really, really am enjoying the mouthfeel off this too. Okay, I understand. Sometimes you do get that herbal, or some people call it a pine or whatever. I always comes across to me as a pine note. I understand that with a rye, but it's not overwhelming. And I really feel like with each sip that I take here, with each additional sip I take, I think I might just be getting used to that particular note. It's not off-putting. I think it's really kind of helping the overall flavor profile here. I think it's going well with all the other things. Let me get one final sip. Yeah, there's the slightest smidgen of cherry in here. Really not sure where that's coming from, but there is just a little bit of that heavy caramel, a decent amount of rye spice, but not overpowering. And for me, I've gotten this note before with a Green River rye. And it's this, it's going to sound, maybe it's going to be crazy, maybe it's just me. It's the slightest bit of a bubble gum here on the finish. And I've described that before as that, you remember that dusty pink bubble gum you get in an old pack of Topps baseball cards, if y'all are old enough to remember packs of baseball cards that had gum in them. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, that's part of this equation for me too. So what's the verdict? Well, on the Blind Tasting Podcast, we have 3 verdict options. Are we going to keep it, or are we going to collect it, or are we going to cull it? To keep it means to proudly display it in your liquor cabinet or bar. The stuff's good for a pour anytime, but there's really no need to stock up on it. Collect it. Grab another bottle, or maybe 2, since you find it so damn delicious, or sometimes it just may not be easy to get your hands on. And lastly, cull it. Use it to loosen rusty bolts or sanitize a dirty toilet. So in the case of Pursuit United Double Oak Rye, I say, keep it. Yeah, for sure. It's different. I mean, it's ridiculously easy to drink. And that piney note I talked about that initially kind of bothered me, actually kind of grew on me. It was more of like a, hey, I'm here, but I'm going to kind of keep to myself type of deal. Not like a, hey, asshole, look at me. So once I got past that note, really felt pretty damn good about it. Now, the big question for me, though, is it wise beyond its years like they claim? Maybe. Is it 3 times its age good? I don't know about all that. I mean, for me, it's right on the cusp of it's right on the cusp of terrific. It's damn close to greatness, but not quite. And please, don't misunderstand me. This isn't a miss for the good folks at Pursuit, not by a long shot. I am quite happy to drink this. In fact, I'm going to finish this up right after I get off this review. But this one, for me, it's just on the edge of greatness. It's good, and it's a strong keep it for me. And at $59.99, it's a strong buy. All day, every day, and twice on Tuesday. Guys, last but not least, I got to give a good old regular shout out to the farmers, the distillery production guys and gals, the warehouse workers, the bottlers, and those truck drivers, because they're the ones who make it happen for all of us. So cheers to all of them. Thanks for listening, y'all. I'll see you soon.